Hello everyone and welcome to AOM Sharp Weekly. And in this video, I'm going to show you that how you can persist your settings into SwiftData database. Now, before we do that, let's go ahead and thank the sponsors for this video. This video is sponsored by AOM Sharp School. Now, this is one of the largest catalog for iOS development videos with over 130 hours of content, and you can see the simple pricing, monthly or annually you can pay. You'll get access to 22 comprehensive courses plus more, because I'm always building more, which is 130 hours of content, which is just amazing. And take a look at all these courses. You have MVVM in SwiftUI, core data, you have SwiftData, full stack iOS development, one of my favorite courses. So you can access these courses individually, or you can just sign up for the membership and you can access them, all of them, at one cost monthly. So this is a great way to learn, and I keep on adding new courses. So check out awesomesharp.school and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it. All right, so let's go back to our implementation over here. What we want to do is we want to save settings into SwiftData. Now, in order to save settings, the first thing we need is some sort of a model that will allow us to persist settings. Now, you should create that in a separate file, but just so that we're saving a little bit of time, I'm going to go ahead and create this in the same file. I'll import SwiftData over here, and I'll create a class called settings. I really don't like to name my class with plural, but settings is settings, so that's why I'm just going to name it settings. It's going to be model so that it can be persisted into SQLite using SwiftData. And you can add as many settings as you want. I'm just going to go ahead and say dark mode. That's the only setting I have, which is Boolean. And we can go ahead and initialize it, or we can go ahead and create the initializer and make it false. So by default, dark mode will be false. So this is the only setting that we will be storing in our database. Now, if you do have some other settings, maybe you have like a temperature unit between Celsius and Kelvin, or some settings for the miles and kilometers, you can put it there also. Now, we can go ahead and also create a settings view. Settings view, body, there we go. And in the settings view, we will have a simple toggle. All right. So the toggle is where you can toggle between the dark mode and the light mode. And what should we pass over here? So one of the things with SwiftData you can do is, if you pass something as a bindable, like settings as a bindable, then you can directly bind to the properties of the settings. And as soon as those properties are updated, then it is also reflected in the database. So I can now say settings.dark mode, which is pretty cool. I mean, we don't really have to click a save button or anything. Once you set the properties, you set the properties. Okay. Now this one, which is the settings view, is now dependent on the settings as a bindable. And whenever we turn on, whenever we toggle turn on or off, this dark mode property is updated. And since this dark mode property is on settings, which is a model, it's automatically also updated in the database. Okay. Now the question becomes, okay, well, what should we do? Meaning, how do we save it? Or where do we save it? Okay. So we'll start with the content view. Okay. And in the content view, we can create a property called state var is presented Boolean. And we can go ahead and add a button over here in the content view that will show us the actual, sheet. So let's go ahead and say open is presented is equals to true. And we can go ahead and create this sheet which is going to show us a modal. So we can say is presented, and the content that we are showing is the settings or the settings view. Settings view. But the problem is that for the settings view, we do need to pass in the settings. And right now, we don't really have the settings. So what should we do over here? Again, there are many ways that you can do that. What we want to do is when the page is loaded, when the app is loaded, we will by default put some settings with their default properties into the database. Okay, now this can be done in over here in the content view, but this should be done a little bit more earlier than the content view. So I can go to the app file over here, and I can think about like, okay, how can I do it over here? We can even wrap our content view with some other view, and we can do that. And we want our settings to be available everywhere. All right. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and create a root view, var body. And the only thing the root view is actually doing is that when it is loading the content view, as soon as the on appear get fired, it checks if the settings are already stored in SwiftData. If yes, then, well, do nothing, right? Or if no, then add empty settings to SwiftData. So that is what we're going to try to do. In order for the root view to work, it needs information regarding, the model container and all of those different things. So let's go ahead and say over here, we're going to say root view. And in the window group, we can go ahead and attach model container for settings.self. And you can use in memory, but in the real app, you should be using like false, right? I mean, we don't really want to persist it. So we can remove that part because this is the actual app. This is not a preview. You don't really want to store things in the memory. You want to persist it to the default store, which is SQLite database. Now, inside the root view, we can get access to environment model context. Now, it's not really available right now because I have to import SwiftData. So let's go ahead and import SwiftData. We're going to get the context, and we're also going to create a query, which will be settings. So this is going to return us all the settings. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. It should be missing the @ sign. There we go. We will check if the settings is empty. If there are no settings, then we're just going to go ahead and insert a default setting. So this is a default setting that we're going to insert. And we also want all of this to be available in the environment object. So we're going to say environment object and settings.first, or just go ahead and add default settings. Now keep in mind that what we're doing over here is going to work locally with our database on the device, but this technique is not going to work when you're using CloudKit sync. Because when you're doing the CloudKit, this part, the settings, will always be empty when you're running it on a new device. Okay, so I will have a gist posted in the YouTube description, and you can definitely check that one out also. That will give you a little bit of idea of how to work with CloudKit. If that works in your scenario, you can definitely check it out. But if you have a solution, let me know. But check out the gist also. It does do something with the CloudKit stuff. But CloudKit is a little bit, cumbersome to set up, so that's why I'm kind of like not doing it over here. Okay, so the important part over here is that we are inserting into the environment the settings, and the reason we're doing that is that so we can access it in other views, because now it's in the environment, anyone should be able to access it. And that also does include the content view. So in the content view, now we should be able to access it. I can say environment, give me the settings.self private var settings. Okay. And when we are calling the settings view, we can simply go ahead and pass in the settings. So this means that whenever the settings view is going to change this, it's going to be reflected in our database, which is great. Now, in order to change the scheme or the color, there are multiple ways of doing that. I can go ahead and say over here, let's find the VStack, pretty much over here. So we can say preferred color scheme, and we can say that settings.dark mode. If it's dark mode, then we will say dark, or else we'll say light. Okay. And let's see, for the content view over here, you can see that we're not really injecting anything over here for the content view. We can run our application. So I'll just leave it over here. I'll just run it on a real device so that we can see. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. And I'm going to say open. And it only has one thing, dark mode, which is false. I'm going to say true. And one thing you noticed is that since it's true, the content view now turned to black or dark. If I run the application again, there we go. So it's still dark, okay? But if I change it to white over here, if I turn off the dark mode, this kind of works, but this was not working, right? I mean, if I'm toggling, you can see, if you keep your eyes right there, you can see that behind over there, the light mode and dark mode is toggling, but it is not really toggling for the modal or the sheet. And the way that I've found it to work is that you have to supply it for the sheet also. So kind of like this, so that both of places it is applied. Okay. So now I'll say, and there we go. Great. So there we go. This is how you will persist your settings in your SwiftData database, or through the use of SwiftData into SQLite database. Once again, this technique will not really work when you are using CloudKit Sync. And once again, the reason is that when you're doing CloudKit Sync, this part will always be empty. I do have a small, maybe possible solution that will be in the gist that I'm sharing in the YouTube description. So check it out, and maybe that will work for you. If it doesn't work for you, let me know in the comments that how can we make it work for CloudKit Sync. All right. So there you have it. Thank you so much. And once again, check out my website, azamsharp.school. I mean, we have a lot of videos over here. I'm working on some brand new courses. And oh, one other thing that before I forgot, are the workshops. And I have made the adjustment. So all of these workshops are now dirt cheap, only $50. That's like 2 pizzas, right? I mean, and this workshop is going to last you for a long time. It's going to allow you to move forward in your career also. And you can see there are different workshops. There is a SwiftData workshop also. And then in April, we have an introduction to testing workshop. So we have a lot of workshops over here. All right. So definitely check it out. This is pretty much as low as you can get, like $50 is basically nothing for a world-class workshop. So thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Like it, share it. Thank you.